Hello, I'm Simon Christie and welcome to Your 4x4. This week we're on the Macleay River in northern New South Wales and we've got 3 days of fantastic four-wheel driving and exploring this beautiful area planned. We've stayed the night at the Bass Lodge, absolutely awesome accommodation, and we've got a fantastic day of trekking across the Macleay River and up into the ranges planned for this episode. A great day of four-wheel driving, let's get stuck into it.
Your 4x4 is proudly presented by the all-new Holden Colorado 7, Berrima Diesel, ARB 4x4 accessories, Piranha Off-Road products, Kmart 4-wheel drive, Brown Davis Automotive and Lightforce Performance Lighting.
Well, here we are on another fantastic adventure with Your 4x4. We're up at Bass Lodge up here in New South Wales, just about an hour and a half's drive from Kempsey, and the morning has just brought us this absolutely beautiful sunrise, the river in the background behind us. It's a unique place, I've never been up this way before, very much like the high country of Victoria and all that sort of stuff, so looking forward to a really fantastic couple of days.
We're about an hour and a half east of Armidale. Here we are in this fantastic valley. You know, the mountains through here are beautiful. As you can see, there's a fantastic river behind me here. It actually reminds me a little bit of home, Wombeyan Caves, those areas. Beautiful rivers, all the Australian gum trees.
Beautiful part of the world here. Looking forward to getting out to see some of the terrain through here. It's quite steep, a lot of creek crossings and what have you.
We've never been here before, so it was a bit of a surprise when we woke up and looked at this scenery around us. It is absolutely amazing. Now, I think the big thing with this sort of stuff is you've got to go and explore new places and have a look around and check it out for yourself. As I say, I've never been here before. The tracks look awesome, the scenery's fantastic.
This will be our first trip along with the Your 4x4 team, and also a very first trip for me four-wheel driving, so it's a good chance for us to learn some skills and learn from some of the best people in the industry. We're lucky enough to be along with a lot of experienced companies and people that have been in the industry for years, and also an array of different vehicles.
Number of different vehicles with us on this trip. Some brand new technology, Holden Colorado, Ford Ranger, brand new IFS style utes, small turbo diesel engines, very powerful, very capable vehicles. We've got some Land Cruisers, we've got a 200 series from Nick Manel, very well set up, very well equipped. 100 series cruiser, bit of an old girl now, but not the oldest on the trip. We've got actually a historic vehicle, we've got a 60 series Land Cruiser. Actually running on historic number plates, so it's actually just clicked over to historic rego, so it'll be good to see how that one goes. And of course, dead in the middle, the GQ Patrol, a good, well-equipped vehicle, should do well around these parts.
So I'm Tony Broomfield from Armidale Tourism, and I welcome Simon Christie and Your 4x4 to what we believe is a magnificent area with so much great potential. We're nestling in amongst some of the greatest national parks. We've got the Oxley Wild Rivers, we've got the YOUR4X4 National Park, we've got the Carrai Plateau, we've got New England National Park, Guy Fawkes. Oxley Wild Rivers on its own is 145,000 hectares. There's tracks running through there, there's camping spots, there's phenomenal waterfalls, just so much potential, and for me it's largely untapped at this point, so hopefully the guys today will get to experience that and enjoy what there is.
My name's Dave Thompson, fortunate enough to own the Bass Lodge. This area is pretty wonderful because the topography just means that there's just so much area of vast wilderness that people can come and enjoy without any pressure of human beings. Come and four-wheel drive, you can come and fish. It's just magnificent country, and I'm just so excited to be part of it because there's very few places I think you can come where you can just see so much river, so much wilderness, national parks in the area. There's just an enormous amount of national parks all spread through here. I really enjoy personally just telling people about the area and informing them of what's on offer. It is exciting country. We also have neighbours, and it's very much old school Australian type people that live here.
I'm Neil Booth. I've lived in the area for 60 years. I've travelled up and down this river heaps, taken quite a few people four-wheel driving. They seem to love it. I'm the guide for the convoy today of four-wheel drives. We're trying a heap of different sorts of vehicles out, soft gravelly parts and steep descents and all that type of thing, very rocky crossings and all that type of thing. It's very interesting to see each vehicle work, like they all work that little bit different. It's pretty wise to let any of the locals know where you are because there's a lot of private property and national parks, so it's pretty advisable to either ring the people or call in and see them. Most of them are very, very friendly. Just explain what you want to do, and it's really important to do that one.
Well, Simon, this week's entry comes from Daniel Flitton, and Daniel loves his 4x4 because he gets to go camping in places others can't and just loves the peace and quiet and open space.
For sending in that email, you've won yourself a Lightforce tack torch and stubby holder. All emails go into the running for an ARB twin motor compressor and a projector folding solar panel. For details on all of our prizes and competitions, check the YOUR4x4 website.
Holden's toughest 4x4 ever has arrived. Introducing the all-new Holden Colorado 7. It comes with 7 seats as standard and it's loaded with serious off-road grunt. You'll get 3-ton towing and the awesome 470 Newton-metre Duramax diesel engine, plus an impressive wading depth and hill descent control, all for the hardcore adventurer. The all-new Holden Colorado 7 is here. Take it off-road at your Holden dealer today.
Does your diesel smoke, lack power, or have poor fuel economy? Then you need the Berrima Diesel treatment. Fine-tuning diesels since 1956, the Berrima Diesel technicians are Australia's leading diesel wizards. From a turbo installation to a high-tech dyno tune, when you think diesel, think Berrima Diesel. Visit thedieselexperts.com and make an appointment for more power, more torque, and better fuel economy.
The next generation of shock absorbers is here. Leading the way in 4x4 suspension development, Old Man Emu introduces the most advanced and finely tuned shock absorber on the market. Nitro Charger Sport incorporates a new valving system that instantly adapts to all terrain for an outstanding smooth ride and phenomenal control. Backed by a 3-year, 60,000 kilometre warranty, you can trust Nitro Charger Sport, built in Australia for Australian conditions.
Our trip's been really good. There's been no major dramas. There's been some near major dramas, but no major dramas. Miranda in the brand new Colorado had a bit of an adventure in the river, which was quite exciting. We took a slight zig where she should have zagged and found a deeper section than thought possible. In the defence of Miranda and the Colorado, they both managed to drive out completely unharmed despite the misalignment of position where they wanted to go. But that went very well.
All the cars have done it extremely well. The Prado's done it really well the first time out for the Ranger, and it's been great to see all the cars handle all the conditions. The new Colorado's been out here, but we've still got the good old GQ and 60 Series Land Cruiser of Alan Barb's, and we know how that goes. It just performs faultlessly. It just goes to show you that with your car set up at a reasonable level, you can take that anywhere, and it's about bringing that family out here and enjoying our great outdoors.
One thing I found amazing out here with these rivers are the various tides. You look up in the trees quite high up and you've actually got a lot of tree matter up there. So these things probably must go, 5, 6, 7 metres underwater. It's got such a huge catchment area, it's just amazing. So it does really show you've got to be careful in these areas because it could have rained hours away from here and all of a sudden you've got a 5 metre flood.
We've done some dusty stuff, we've kept gaps between the cars, followed a normal convoy procedure and everyone's worked well together. Lots of rocks, lots of changing conditions, and you've got to keep alert and keep awake. That's part of the beauty of what we're doing.
It's been a great morning for me, especially coming along, learning from guys with a lot of experience and a lot of know-how, pulling up to water crossings, sitting back and being able to watch what guys with experience, what lines they take, different routes they do.
As beautiful as this is, any river crossing can be dangerous. Always walk it first. Let's check it out.
Done some river crossings, which Simon's walked most of them. By walking them and being prepared, you know what you're in for. There's no point just diving in there and finding out it's 6 feet deep and doing damage to your car. You could get stranded.
All looks quite good. I think we're stopping for lunch though. Straight after lunch, we're getting stuck into the Macleay River. Let's get across it.
Here we are on the upper Macleay River. It's just a magnificent spot in this beautiful gully. Big rock face walls with black water as well, and the water just flowing down the stream, and it's just absolutely magnificent and a beautiful place to come and through.
Next up, it's the Ask an Expert segment.
Well, our question for the experts this week comes from Dean Shaw, and Dean has written, I know that by joining 2 lead batteries together, you can do outback arc welding. Can you use different battery types in combination to do the same? Well, Dean, I think we should check with our 12-volt expert, Alan Johnson from Piranha, for the answer.
Okay guys, bush mechanics tells us that when we're out in the bush and things have turned really, really bad, we've got to do emergency things sometimes to get ourselves out of trouble. One of those things you might have to do is actually DC welding using car batteries. Now this is a skill that's not as easy as you'd think it is, and it's fairly tricky to do and get a decent result, but it can be done. All you basically need is 2 batteries, or even 3 batteries depending on the thickness of the metal you want to weld, the appropriate size welding rods, and even as simple as a set of decent, and I do emphasise the word decent, jumper leads. What you do is basically pull the batteries out of the car. The thing that you need to weld, you put the negative terminal onto, you put the positive terminal onto the actual rod, or the actual welding rod, and with the right sort of face shield and all the bits and pieces, you can actually weld in the bush. Now there's a couple of very important things to understand. If you want to get deep penetration, you set the positive as the electrode. If you want to get fill, you're trying to weld something thinner, you can actually reverse the direction of the polarity, therefore the spark jumps between the metal and the rod, eating up more rod more quickly, giving you more fill. So if you're trying to weld the mudguard back on your trailer, you do it one way. If you're trying to weld the tow hitch back on, you do it the other way round. So there's a little bit to this bush welding. I've done quite a bit of it myself over the years, and the results can be quite satisfactory. In fact, some repairs that I've done on cars have actually lasted for a very, very long time. On one of the trips, we actually had an air tank fall off the car, which we welded back together with rods, and it stayed there for about another year until I actually did it properly and fixed it up at work. Now, the question relates to using dissimilar batteries. Now, obviously, you really should be using 2 wet cell batteries if possible. But we're talking about bush mechanics here, guys. It's all turned to poo. You're in really, really big trouble. So what are you going to do? You've got 2 batteries and they're dissimilar? Of course you're going to use them. Not recommended, but it'll get you out of the poo. That's the most important thing to remember. So I guess bush mechanics is all about getting yourself out of trouble and doing what you have to do to survive.
For sending in that question, you've won yourself a pair of Piranha diff breathers. All entries go into the major prize for a Brown Davis Automotive long-range fuel tank, a pair of Lightforce 50-watt HID strikers, and an RFI antenna.
"30-second kitchen, a kitchen in 30 seconds. Fridge slide first. Fridge slide's got 130 kilo tracks in it, so it's nice and tough. Remove the R-clip, don't lose it. Drop the pin, leg locker. Kitchen now. Lock kitchen down here. Retrieve the R-clip. Lock on here, R-clip in. Leg here, pull them together. Stove, billy. How good's that, guys? Couldn't ask for quicker.
Sometimes the front runners lead from behind, and when it comes to protecting your rear, Kmart are world leaders in rear end protection and tow bar combinations. The just released Prado 150 is no exception, with a bar that is designed to follow the car's lines and work with your sensors and factory camera. For the best in rear end protection, trust Kmart. It's a statement, not just an accessory, for the toughest of 4x4 trips. For more info, go to kmart.com.au.
Warning, beware of imitation lights. Only Lightforce performance lighting guarantees Australian made, no leaking or melting, quality output and 3-year warranty. Unlike their imitators, Lightforce lights feature peerless construction, leak-proof seals, impact-proof lenses and filters, vibration and fracture resistant mounts and housings, and stainless steel fittings, outshining and outlasting their impersonators in every way. Often imitated, never replicated. Visit lightforce.com for the full range of authentic Lightforce lights.
Got a tough 4x4 tourer and enjoy hitting the tracks? Odds are you'll need some serious underguard protection and a heavy-duty long-range tank. Brown Davis Automotive offer aluminised steel underguard protection plates and long-range tanks for most popular makes and models. They're designed and developed right here in Australia and have been tested to the extreme right across this great country. Remember Brown Davis Automotive. It's a trusted and family-owned Aussie business and proud manufacturers of high-end tanks, underguards and more.
What a sensational afternoon. The hardest river crossing we did was the first one, straight after lunch. Quite often it can be hardest when it's the first car through, you're paving away, you're packing down the rocks. Made it a bit easier for everyone else to follow through. We all got through, we took our time, we prepared it, we knew what we were going to do, so it worked really well.
So after lunch, everybody went across the river. In fact, it was pretty uneventful. Everybody got across without any problems. So it sort of shows in a lot of this soft river gravel type area, if you do see wheel tracks, you probably feel a little bit more confident to go somewhere, but you should certainly get out and check wherever you're going, particularly when it comes to rivers. You can have a lot of holes that can have washed out, and I mean, that's where the bass fish also hang out, is around the edges and near the holes. So get out, make sure it's right before you cross. We all got across without a problem. Up we went into the mountains, and we really got into some steep country today.
Next thing you know, we're up the gorge, heading up a huge incline, which I've never ever thought a car could actually get up.
What a day we've had. We've done some absolutely sensational tracks today, and this afternoon after lunch was beyond expectations. After lunch we did some amazing tracks, some good river crossings, but we did some real deep gullies. And in between the ARB bar and the Brown Davis underbody and Kmart rear bars working on the vehicles, it gave us protection all the way around the cars, with side rails and rocks undulating here and there, and some steep descents and some great uphill climbing and four-wheel driving. It was absolutely fantastic to get through and enjoy all those things. But it really showed the cars working really well together. Also, the owners of the properties and all that around here being able to guide us through tracks that weren't even there, which was an amazing opportunity to enjoy all those sorts of things.
With some local knowledge, we picked our way across the back of the mountain range and through some paddocks, and they were saying back in December that the fires had come through and that was all clear. We got there, a couple of little scratches and whatnot, but that's what happens with four-wheel driving, isn't it?
We followed a power line easement which was quite overgrown. Obviously been a fire through there sometime recently. Yeah, we really had to sort of find the track again because it'd grown over and pick your way around saplings. But yeah, really interesting day. A long day, but 100% action because of the location.
What makes a great day for driving? Well, I got to tell you, today was one of them. We had some amazing weather. The sky was blue, the water was clear, the rocks were fantastic, the scenery was spectacular. It was one of those amazing days. Now, we didn't go very far in terms of distance today. It wasn't a huge trip in terms of Ks, but in terms of adventure and in terms of, I guess, scenery and excitement and stuff, it was awesome.
I'm getting rid of the things I thought that I wanted.
You get out there and you see some of this stuff, and it's like being an oily explorer. You come up to the top of a hill and there's this huge vista in front of you, and it just goes for miles and miles and miles. It's just as I say, spectacular stuff.
Today was really great from someone that hasn't spent much time in a car forward driving, learning so many tips from so many people with so much experience. Every step of the way, any challenge that I came across, I had guys right there willing to always speak to me, talk me through any challenge, any possible thing that was going to go wrong. They were talking to me, helping me out.
And I would love to stay on a while and get used to all
First up is this GQ Patrol, clean and set up, ready for some wet season mud. Next is this Troopy crossing the Simpson Desert. This shot was taken on the French line. This Discovery is set up for tackling fun tracks, lockers all round, running on 33-inch jungle trekkers. What a great shot along Stockton Beach. The BT50 has no troubles tackling the dunes and long sandy runs. And our final entry is this Amarok, parked on the rocks at Marble Bar in Western Australia.
If you've just seen your photo and you're the first to email Danny, you've won yourself the Projector ProCharge 8-amp battery charger. All photos go into the major prize draw for a DP chip power diesel upgrade and a Travel Buddy oven.
What an incredible day of four-wheel driving we've experienced, and what an absolute treat to come back here to Bass Lodge in relative luxury. We've got the fire cranking, I've got the shoes off, they'll be drying out today. The socks I think are full of prickles and they'll be going straight in the bin. Now tomorrow we've got a fantastic day of four-wheel drive touring planned. We'll be looking at all of the tourist opportunities around the Armidale and Bass Lodge area. We're looking at some waterfalls, some fantastic scenery. Make sure you tune in to next week's episode of Your 4x4. I'm Simon Christie. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to your company next week.